Hey tutors, Julie here with a quick video going over how to run your own tutoring session. There are several things that can help improve your skills as a tutor with MasteryHour, but today we'll just be covering these basic 5. What to do when you first sign into a meeting, how to record a session, gauging student skill level, smooth communication, and keeping the kids engaged during a session. First things first, here's an overview of how the beginning of a session looks. If possible, please arrive 5 minutes early to have enough time to rename yourself with the proper tags and handle any technical issues. Once everything is set, you'll be sent into a breakout room. Students start joining in at the top of the hour and will be sent into breakout rooms as they join. Sometimes we have students joining a bit later because we do offer drop-in tutoring, so please be patient. If you'd like to help with other MasteryHour stuff while waiting, just head back into the main room and I'll let you know what we can do. We do ask that all tutors hosting a room please record their session. Permission must be granted by the meeting host to record, so if you find that you do not have this permission, please head back into the main room and request permission from us so we can give it to you. These recordings are saved to your local files. To access them, go to your Documents folder and find the folder that says Zoom. Double-click that folder and a file from your recorded meeting should be there. Once it's ready, please upload these files to our Google Drive into the Zoom meeting recordings folder. Please make a folder with your name on it to upload all of your recordings into. The next topic on our list is learning how to gauge student skill level. Students who join in are from a mix of grade levels, and sometimes it might be difficult to know where to start a tutoring session. When the session starts, introduce yourself and ask the student or parent if there are any specific homework or questions from the class that they would like to work on. You can also ask a student what's the most recent thing they learned, if you need some more hints. If the student doesn't remember, it may be useful to give them a sample question to see where they might struggle with solving it. Here's an example of a sample question for subtraction. It uses multiple digits, requires borrowing to solve, and also involves stacking. Have the student teach or talk you through this one to see what their thought processes are, and then you can bring up some more directed questions afterwards. Feel free to pause the video to take a look at some different indicators of skill here. When we are running sessions online with a wide range of kids, it's important to have smooth communication. Here are some do's for your session. Number 1, do use simple language appropriate to the child's age. Number 2, do ask open-ended questions so the child can fully express themselves. Number 3, if you're having trouble hearing the student, do encourage them to type into the chat. Keep in mind, some younger students might not know how to type or spell yet, so this should work better for the older kids. And number 4, do utilize the whiteboard when there are no screens being shared. If you aren't familiar already, Zoom has a great whiteboard feature. To access it, when you're in the Zoom meeting, click the green Share Screen button at the bottom of the screen. There should be an option called Whiteboard. When you click it, a whiteboard will appear along with some writing tools. Use your mouse, touchscreen, or drawing pad to write away, and the student will be able to see your writing in real time. Sometimes the Zoom whiteboard might be difficult to navigate, or you'd like to write on a whiteboard while letting your students share their screen. This is perfectly fine. If you'd like to use something else to write on, there are also several free online collaborative whiteboards that are easy to use. These on the slide are just some examples that you can check out, and it's great for getting kids involved in their learning. Another great tool for making your session more interesting is to share your screen. This is especially useful when the student is showing you assignments online, or if you'd like to watch a video together with your student. To screen share, click that green button again and select an option. You can share your entire screen to show multiple windows at once, or just a specific window. Please do be mindful of what you have on your desktop, bookmarks, or history autofill, as families are trusting us to spend time with their children to engage them with math. Annotation is also available for you and your students most of the time. While screen sharing, you can click the Annotate button, and this button is in the main menu if you're sharing and in the viewing options next to the green box if you're viewing. And it's a great tool for making your session very interactive. Sometimes annotation doesn't work for some systems, so perfectly fine. If you can't annotate, then you can at least try using a collaborative whiteboard online. Now let's talk about the meat of the session and keeping kids engaged. Here are some do's for keeping the kids engaged for their whole session. Number 1, do take breaks and get some movement in, chat about a different topic, or play a quick game. Number 2, let the students make decisions. Even if we both know we're here to do some math, giving the students several options to choose from can remind them that we're on the same level, working on math together. And number 3, do have a mental check-in when you feel that students are feeling especially distracted, stressed, or bored. Students come from a variety of backgrounds, and not everyone is always 100% pumped to work on some math. That's okay. Checking in and hearing your students' thoughts can help build rapport and refresh their minds so that they can focus better when it's time to get back into work. We do want to note that we are not therapists, so if there's anything you feel uncomfortable with or feel that needs attention, please don't hesitate to let me know through email, Slack, or just popping into the main room saying you'd like to talk privately or send me a private message. A little more about keeping focus and avoiding burnout. During our sessions, it's important to remember that kids have a different attention span than we do. A pretty useful tool for making sure kids don't get too burnt out is to set a timer to have regular timed breaks. You can estimate how much time a student can focus for by multiplying their approximate age by 2 or 3. So if a student is in second grade, they may be around 7 years old, so a break after 21 minutes might be pretty good. This is especially useful when a student is very young, seems fairly stressed out already, or is easily distracted. During these breaks, there are a few things you could do, one of that being your mental check-in. Mental check-ins can be as simple as asking how the student is feeling or what their thoughts are. There can be a lot of reasons why a student is feeling distracted, whether it's a lack of confidence, feeling overworked, or not feeling stimulated enough. This is helpful not only as a tutor, but also as a community member to treat your students with empathy. This doesn't necessarily mean that we're here to feel regret or sorry for a student's situation, since that's sympathy, not empathy. Rather, empathy lets a student feel seen and heard. Students can also have this time to give some feedback to you, so you know how to mold your session to the student's needs. Now, mental check-ins don't necessarily mean heavy questions about a child's deepest thoughts. Sometimes it can be just taking a break to look at some fun pictures or talk about ourselves. Here's some cute pictures that kids might enjoy, taking some time to look at and to identify their feelings. This can also lead to a bit of conversation for a break to talk about those feelings. If your student doesn't have their own work, you can also shift over to a fun math activity to keep things varied during your sessions. TeachersPayTeachers.com is a fairly nice resource to search for some free worksheets, although an account is required to download them. And they do have some resources that teachers have shared and found useful. MasteryHour also has a Google Drive for our tutors to find resources other tutors have found helpful or fun. Please take a look at our Google Drive when you have the time to familiarize yourself with the different resources we've collected, or drop in something that you felt was useful during your session. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to learn how to improve your tutoring sessions. Very, very big thanks to all of you volunteers for helping our students access a better education. If you have any thoughts or would like to discuss anything further, please feel free to send a message to our general channel on our Slack. We also appreciate your continued feedback to direct what goes into our training material. So if you have anything you'd like to suggest we cover, please feel free to email our feedback coordinator, Alvin.